Good morning. I do have my work cut out for me. Very odd. I was pretty impressed. I'm gonna do what I always do on these trucks. And that just happens to be my thing, by the way. This paint job's probably 5-6 years old. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. And here he is leaving. It wasn't quite as fun as I was expecting. And that starts right about now. We did get almost half an inch of rain last night, and it's still raining off and on right now, so I won't be doing too much outside here today. It's breezy, cold, and rainy, but I am gonna go in the shop here. We're gonna get started. Well, they've already gotten started. They've already got some stuff off of it. I'm gonna help them take some other stuff off of it. Look how severely beat this section is. I mean, and that's another thing. The dents, look at how that dent is. Look at how they're kind of shaped that way. A few of these dents don't even look like they were made with rocks. Look at this slant on them. They look like they were hit with something. I'm not saying a human beat the truck, but they could have, or something came off of a load, or maybe through a tire chain or something like that. But those aren't rock dents. Look at that. See that pattern? That's not a rock dent, and they're deep. They've got this caved in. This is in probably a half an inch. So this one's going to require quite a bit of attention. I didn't notice that yesterday, and I don't know how I didn't notice, but I did just notice now. I mean, look at that. Once I do get this pulled off here, that's like a 1/4 inch deep and no bigger around than a golf ball. And here's that dent from the driver's side. I mean, look at that. That is just a gnarly set of dents. Kind of out of place. I mean, the rest of this is normal. Little peck marks in comparison. I mean, they're dents, they're legitimate, but they're little peck marks, and they're all pretty consistent with each other. Then over there, you just got this rash of dents. I mean, man, it'd be interesting to know what the heck got into the back of this truck. It was not gravel. So I got the crew hard at work, sanding and scratching. They finished masking everything up. They're sanding and scratching now. I finished up all the initial body work on the cab itself. There's a little bit to do on the hood. I haven't started yet. I still have fiberglass work to do on the hood. All the initial body work's done on the cab. And for now, part of this afternoon anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and step out and deal with my next little project. It's deal with my sign issue. As you can see, this used to say FedEx. And I took the E and the D and the other E off here this morning because they were in terrible shape. This was all just scrap wood when I first put these together. And this was scrap wood that was literally in the scrap pile. And I picked out pieces that were big enough to be able to trace these, or to make these letters on. And I went from there. And it's been, oh shoot, I don't know, 6 or more years, I suppose. At least 4. It's been at least 4 years. And as you can see, like, this little edge is folding up, but this one isn't terrible yet. The other ones were absolutely terrible. And I'm going to add the Amazon symbol right here at the bottom. So anybody that comes up this driveway, the first thing they see as they're coming up the driveway is this colorful, appropriately colored sign that lets them know that they can drop things off. And as soon as they come around the corner, they'll be able to see it in full detail. This is what it said ever since I started using this thing. I put these stickers on the minute I put this into use. So it's very self-explanatory. And Amazon drivers have been getting a hold of me lately saying, hey, can I drop off in there too? Because they're starting their own, they're getting into the heavy part of the delivery service as well. So they're getting their own vans and their own drivers, and those drivers have been contacting myself and other people that live on this property saying, hey, can we drop off here? So I'm just going to go ahead and put the Amazon symbol there, get it done, and get it out of the way. And so here's this, just some more scrap wood that I picked out of the scrap pile. We're going to do it all over again. And I've got them traced out. Got the E, got the E, got the D. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut those out with a jigsaw and get some paint on them, and then design the Amazon one as well. All right, now here they are all cut out. Now I'm going to paint that one blue, of course, this one blue, this one red, and then I'm going to design the Amazon one before I go and mount them on the sleeper together. Okay, now I've created this kind of design within about the 30 to 31 inch specifications, and I made the little arrow thing right here. It's kind of hard to see, but I traced it out right here. I didn't have to look very far, I just turned around and there's a box right there. So I'll cut these two things out and kind of get them finished out and see how they look together. And now at this point I'm going to go ahead and get the 3 different colors on there. We've got the red, and we've got the FedEx blue, which is like kind of darker navy blue. And then I'm going to go with a mid-tone, kind of a safety blue for the Amazon arrow. And here they are, all painted. You see the different shade of blue on the Amazon symbol. And now at this point I'm going to go ahead and let these guys get cured out here in the sun. I'm going to head down here and do my glazing, as well as my fiberglass work on the insides of the fenders and the inside of the hood. And that also includes a pretty decent sized fiberglass repair that has to take place on this main brace right here inside the hood. As you can see, and if I want to push the hood that way, even with my fingertip, that opens up exponentially. So there's not a whole lot holding it in place. It's probably going to need a fairly sizable repair, but I need to remove this insulation above it and really get in there and have a look. I need to block up the hood with a sawhorse, and then I need to put my board in the bottom that about covers the size of the grill, so I can put my little ladder in here, and my ladder won't hurt the grill that way, and it just distributes my weight better. And that way I can crawl up and down off the radiator and get down in there. I need to get everything set up, in other words. So once I do that, then I can have a better look and really assess what's going to have to happen on this repair. All right, now I'm standing inside the hood here. I got my board here and I got my ladder, and I'm getting ready to look at this repair. I've taken the cable from the middle here and gotten rid of it. And one thing I notice is somebody did a pretty good quality repair on this. This must have been split before. I can see where it was. And then they did the repair clear back, and I can see where they prepped it clear back into here and did a pretty quality repair. They even respected the shape of these dimples, and that's not easy to do. I don't even do that every time, but I do them one better. I do the repair one better in that I just fill these in solid. So these are technically big, thick, 1/4 inch or thicker and inch wide extra fiberglass bars in there. I mean, that's almost all you need by itself. So a lot of times if I skip these dimples, it isn't that I built a bridge over the top, it's that I actually filled them in completely and turned them into heavy duty fiberglass bars and kind of worked them against the problem itself. But still, you got to respect somebody that takes the time to actually get these dimples all pushed in and kept in and a nice smooth repair. I don't see that sort of thing all the time. But anyway, this one got let down enough times that this wood block that sits in here did its job, and the repair did its job, only now it gave up here. And so now I'm going to get in here, peel this out, and get rid of it. But the problem is, while they were doing their repair, they got up onto it. Almost all the way along here, they got up onto it. So I need to get a Sawzall and run it in there first, and then I can take this pad out, and then this insulator out, and then we can have a look at the extent of the damage. All right, I got that pad off there, and as you can see, it was only held on literally halfway. And we're looking at the extent of it here. See, here's where it's split, but it also has split away from the original surface all the way back to probably here, and easily that far up under here. This is all just pulled away. And here's the hole underneath. I had to take that bolt out anyway because I'm gonna have to do the repair right here. So you can see, I mean, whoever opened this hood or whatever, maybe it caught in a windstorm or something while it was open. I mean, you never know what happens with a hood, but they spend years getting just dropped by lazy truck drivers. And I'm guessing that's what the deal is here too. And it really did a number on it. I mean, it didn't hurt their repair, but it just broke literally next to it and even lengthways. I mean, here, I'll try and flex this. Look at that. Look at how it's just broken away from the original surface all the way. So their repair is a solid repair, but now it's its own thing and it's broken away from everything else. So I have to get back here and heavily prep all of this and clear up into this corner. Need to prep all of this so I can lay a heavy repair in there so this has something to anchor to. And same with the underside. I need to repair across all of that. So it's a sizable repair. I could tell by looking at it initially it would be. I mean, but it's oftentimes different how they break out. I've seen them break out every which way. This one's not what I would call usual at all. And for this repair, I'm just going to be using a cordless drill, 3-inch roll lock, probably 36 grit, could be 24. I regularly just kind of bounce between the two, but I don't do any finer than 36 grit. I really intend to tear the surface up, and that's what I intend to do. I intend to go to prep all of this and all of this and all of this, and you can even see how the back right here, even this is broken. Clear up through the glue, and it's ready to start trying to break on the hood itself. That's pretty heavy duty right there. But anyway, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use this to gouge all of this up, get it all prepped. And then once it's all 100% prepped, I'll blow it off, and then I'll turn the camera back on and we'll have a look at how it looks before I actually repair it. I got this all prepped. We'll go ahead and have a look. You can see right here, like I said, it's broken right through here. And you can tell by the color of it, the lightness of it, that it's kind of wafered out, that it's broken away from there. And that's why I have it prepped all the way up through here. So this patch will just take care of all of that. Nice heavy patch. Then I'm gonna patch it all the way through here. I'm not gonna run a patch inside of this dimpled region here because there's no need. It doesn't apply to what I'm doing. Right up in here is gonna get a heavy patch. Over here is gonna get a heavy patch. Right across here. Right across here, and you can see both sides are prepped, even up into this dimple. They're gonna get a heavy one. Same with across this hole, because there's the crack. And since I'm going this far across here, I'm gonna go ahead and get this hole on this side too. Not that it needs it, but I mean, I'm right there. I might as well just put some extra layers on it. Then I'm gonna get in there, do that repair while it's still wet. I'm gonna jump up out of here and then use this telescoping pole to push it hard away from the radiator here, push it out that way so it closes that gap perfectly and holds everything steady. Then I'm gonna carefully get down off the truck and not even touch the truck for no less than a few hours. I'll probably just call it a day on the truck and go do something else. Here's an old 86 359 we did years ago. He just showed up to pick up a sleeper. We didn't paint that sleeper. Someplace in Rapid City, South Dakota did. They did a terrible job. He hauls heavy equipment everywhere for a living. So here's his toolbox. That stands for the Green Thief. See, I put it right there as well. He was not expecting this. When he came to get the truck, he wasn't expecting that in any place. I call it the Green Thief, or he calls it the Green Thief because he says the sumbitch is always taking my money or my time. And so he just mentioned it in passing, but I made him a logo. Put it in some spots, striped his chassis. This truck's been running around for, probably 5-6 years now. This paint job's probably 5-6 years old. And he's just come to get his sleeper. Got a record today, if you can see that. Got a new cat motor in it since it left here. This guy hauls heavy equipment for a living. Puts this 86 359 to work every day. And now we're gonna load his sleeper up. This is just a sleeper he had painted in another place and they did a terrible job. And then he brought it to me, wanting to put it on the truck, and we couldn't at the time. And then it sat here for 2 or 3 years, at least 4 or 5 years actually. And now we're gonna load it up so he can put it on the truck. He'll custom mount it on the truck. He'll custom mount this on that truck, and then we'll bring it back and then we'll repaint it. The same colors as what's on the truck, and the same stripe scheme as what's on the truck. And here he is leaving. And just like that, another night has passed. It's first thing the next morning. And today what we're gonna get accomplished is, I'm gonna go ahead and do the body work where the mirrors were. We're gonna finish prepping the fenders. We're gonna finish doing any of the other prep that needs to be prepped, which is dwindling. I mean, they've handled quite a bit of it so far. I'm gonna go ahead and get all my glazing on, and then I'm going to get everything in wet sanding primer here today. And I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall these letters and that Amazon symbol that I built on the side of the sleeper today. I did it yesterday, which was a Saturday, and I'm gonna be installing them today, which is a Sunday, which works out perfect because there'll be no confused drivers, during this little renovation. Well, there's shop foreman Kevin. Not even 8 o'clock in the morning, and here he is. Hey, buddy. Well, hey, here's Kevin up in the hood with me, checking out my work. Hi, buddy. Well, Kevin's telling me I got to get this hole right here drilled again, and get my parts back on here and get back to work, so better get back to it. Now I'm going to get up out of here and get the rest of this show on the road. First coat of glazing on. Hasn't been sanded yet, but it has been applied. Got those big paws going again. Well, okay, gang. It's looking like we got everything done that we need to get done to get my wet sanding primer on today. I'm going to be priming the back, the sides, including the doors, the sides of the hood, and the fenders. And that starts right now. And now that that's shot and finished, I'm going to spend a little bit of my afternoon putting those letters back on that sleeper. And here I am down at the sleeper. Got everything down here ready to go. Got my project bucket with all my accoutrement in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some measurements and get these letters put on here. Well, all right. It's all fixed back up. And with a click of the fingers, it's first thing the next morning. I went ahead and gave the crew the day off today because what I have going on here on this truck doesn't really involve anything they could do for me. My big goal today is to not only get these fenders in blue, but to get it done early in the day. So they've got the rest of the day and tonight to sit. So they've got more hours to sit before we go masking on them tomorrow. So I'm going to sand these fenders here first thing this morning, and then I'm going to get the chassis all blown off, get my boards on. I only put these boards, see how I designed these? These, and they're both like that. There's different sizes for different truck setups, and these particular trucks allow me to have them both, so I can keep all my sandpaper and all my stuff along here, and I can stand there. And anyway, that'll be removed. Everything else will be blown off, and I'll go ahead and get the chassis primed in black, and get the fenders primed in gray, and get the fenders shot in blue all today. Okay, it hasn't been all that long. Fenders have been all sanded down, taken care of, blown off. Chassis been all blown off and looked over. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some gray primer. About the same tone, but a different type of primer. It's an epoxy primer. It's just a surfacer that I'm going to put on these fenders. And then I'm going to epoxy prime the chassis. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint the fenders. Well, all right, gang. Another day's gone by. It's first thing the next morning. The crew's going to be in here about in 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to go ahead before that time and get these fenders segregated off with some vinyl tape so when they get here, they can go ahead and mask off these fenders. Once that's done, we're going to sand everything from front to back. We're going to get the black on the chassis and the white on the truck today. Just like that. Both sides are done. And that means that these fenders are now set to be masked. The crew's set to come through the door here any second, and this truck is set to become white again before the end of the day. And we're just finishing up the masking. Getting ready to get the sanders out. And now we're off and sanding. Well, that's about it for prep. I turned the crew loose, got everything sanded, got everything masked, everything's all scratched, blown off, all the steps are taken. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some white primer, prime the cab and the hood in white, paint the chassis in black, paint the cab and hood in white, very carefully repaint the chassis in black. And that's all starting right now. Well, all right, gang. It's the first thing the next morning. Crew's going to come through the door here any second. And when they do, I want them to see that these fenders have already been unmasked. So the first thing I'm going to do here this morning is get these fenders unmasked. That way I know whether or not we can continue with the rest of the project. Well, here we are done, and on to the next one. Let's go ahead, walk around it, have a look. And this is the 12th Kenworth W900 that we've done for this same company in roughly 12 months. In about 13 months, we've done 12 of these. This is the 12th one. And when it showed up, it had the standard stuff wrong with it. You know, it had the clear coat peeling off the fenders. The center brace was busted up pretty good inside of the hood. We got that all fixed up. Removed the mirrors. Doors had dents in them, both doors, and they always do. And now they don't. The back had a standard amount of dents in it, and it turned out good. It looks just like it should. Chassis was rough, so we blasted it. Took it down to bare metal. 2 coats of epoxy. 3 coats of paint by the time we're all done. You got the hubs. Got all the details. Turned out sharp. Another one ready to go to the auction. It'll be replaced by another one almost immediately. However, I'd say there's a more than fair chance we won't be doing the next Kenworth the minute that it shows up. Instead, what we're going to be doing is a stock trailer, a horse trailer. This stock trailer right here, to be precise, about a 30-some foot Featherlight. We're going to make it the same color it is right now, only shiny and new. And once we're all done with that, and that'll only be 4 or 5 days at the most, we'll get in the next Kenworth of these guys. And then once that one's done, we'll get in another stock trailer from a completely different owner. I just kind of stacked them up here together is all. Waited for the fall and stacked them up here together. So we'll be doing another stock trailer. And then after that, who knows? It might be another Kenworth. It might be a Peterbilt. It might even be a trailer. It all just depends on who I call and who shows up. If you like this video, take the time to hit the like button. That's going to help me grow this channel. And if you want to see more of what goes on around here, you should come check me out at Flash Industrial Painting at Facebook. And if you want to see more videos like this, or domestic auto body, or gardening, or art, or any of the many things we do around here, including just the daily activities, then you should probably take the time to hit the subscribe button while you're at it, because, you know, we always got something going on. We'll see you guys around.